E titi ane e te ati aua, e te iti e te rahi te katoa. E ngā iwi o te motu nei, no o iara te whenua nei. Mana ki tia ranga iwi, e te iti e te ra i te katoa. Kua tū a te witi, nō runga i ana mai pai. Nō runga i ana mai tika, i tōna ngā koupai. Ka titiro ake au ki te ko te i tapu o te maunga e tū ake rā ko ahu mai I rangi tērā. E whakarongo ake au ki te ripo o te wai e kare mai nei, ko kumu toto tērā. Rere tō tika atu rā te wai kia puta atu ki te whanga ko waira, ko tara tērā. Ka huri taku aro ki ngā kōkona e whā o te rohe pōtae o Taranaki Whānui ki te upoko o te ika. Ko pipi nui ki te rāto, ko moka ki te rāwhiti. Ko remu taka, ko rimu rapa ērā. Ka hoki mai anō ki runga ki te mata o te whenua. Ki raro I te tuanui o tēnei hōtera I mo I o koutou I tēnei wā. Huri noa tēnau koutou, kia ora mai tātou katoa. Tuatahi me mihi atu ki a rātou ko wehe atu ki te pō rātou I tu atu I te ararai. Rātou kua whetu rangitia I raro I te kāhui whetu o pōhutu kawa. Tēnei te poroporo aki, tēnei te tangi ki a rātou kua haere kē I te ao tūroa nei ki te kāpuni tango te ao wairua. Nō reire ngā mate, haere atura. Hoki anō ki a tātou katoa. Koutou kua tae mai nei nōna kōkona e whā o te motu. Nōna kōkona e whā o te ao. Tēnā koutou, rarau mai, whakatau mai, ki runga I a pōneke, ki runga I te awa o kumu toto e rere mai nei. Nō reira, me mihi ka tika ki a rātou ko e hatu, me mihi ka tika ki a koutou kua tae mai nei. Me o koutou mahi, rangahau o koutou whakaimi, kōrero whakaimi, kaupapa. A tēnei te mihi mai Taranaki Whānui ki a koutou katoa. Nō reira, huri noa, tēnā koutou, kia ora mai tātou katoa. Kia ora tātou, my name's Mark Ormsby. I'm the representative or Kaumātua of the local mana whenua iwi Taranaki Whānui ki te upoko teika. Now, if none of you don't know what Kaumātua means, Kaumātua means, this is what Kaumātua look like in Wellington, like me. Kaumātua, for those that don't know what Kaumātua means often the best dressed, the best singer, the person that speaks the best. And so you've got me today to open up your 15th annual conference today. So I apologise on behalf of my iwi if our Kaumātua don't look like the Kaumātua that you might be used to, but it's something we put in the water down here. So I encourage you to drink up as much water as you can today. You've got a long 3 days conference. Just a little bit about the things that I said in my speech today. This morning, I spoke about the landmarks of Taranaki Whānui. I pointed to Ahu Mairangi, which is our main hill over there. Most people think it's Mount Vic, but Ahu Mairangi came from Ahu Mairangi come all the waterways, and next to those waterways where all our people settled some 150 years ago on their way down from Taranaki when they settled this area. And so lots of pa and lots of kainga or homes were situated next to rivers that came off them. And one of those rivers is a place called Kumu that runs very close to here. And if you know Wellington that well, there's a place down there on the waterfront where there are some kina. And that's kind of where the Kumu comes out. Now the name of Kumu Kumu means, we're all sitting, except for myself, we're all sitting on our kumu, so I won't tell you exactly what that means, but you get the idea. And toto means blood. And of course, kids, when you tell them that, they think, bloody bum, in school. But the actual meaning of that was that it was a place where after pregnancy, after a child was born, women would sit in those waters down near the sea because it was quite cold and it was numbing, had numbing effects. So we saw that site as a place where people could heal themselves. So Kumutoto was the name of that place. There was also Kumutoto, this awa that ran quite close underneath us was the demarcation line between two hapu, or two villages belonging to Taranaki Whānui. One, of course, was the Kaumātua village, and the other was, of course, the Aotearoa. And so we also, for us, Kaumātua, this marks the line, or the seat of power is what we call it, Kaumātua, the seat of power. So welcome to the seat of power. You're going to be here for 3 days. You're going to sit on your Kaumātua for 3 days. And it's my pleasure on behalf of Taranaki Whānui, Te Aotearoa also, to welcome you here today. I'm going to keep it brief and short because I know you've got a long day ahead of you, and I want to give more emphasis to those coming after me to speak. So I'm looking at my next speaker to say, on behalf of Taranaki Whānui, Te Aotearoa, drink the water here. Don't sit too long on your kumu. Mix and mingle and have a great time. So, nō reira e te iwi, e te iti e te rahi, tēnā koutou, kia ora mai tātou katoa. You can applause now. That's really applause for her. Welcome. Thank you.
I feel really short. Okay. Ninga mihi nui ki a tātou katoa. Kia ora e te whānau. Nau mai, hare mai. Ninga manuhiri tuarangi. Nau mai, hare mai. E te ropu matanga kai Mihi, kai Rangahau. Whakatau mai rā, haere mai kiti. Tau toku i te kaupapa, haere mai kiti. Whakawhanau ningatanga, haere mai kiti tuhonohono. Ho korero, whakamatanga, he whakaekinoa, no rere. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tātou katoa. Ko Rania, tōku ingoa, kia ora, tātou. Now, apologies if I butchered any of those words. I tried really hard the past year to memorize this. But good morning. Good morning, everyone. Esteemed researchers, valued colleagues, the Honourable Minister Judith Collins, who could not be here today, but has sent a video which will sometime show in the next 3 days. My name is Rania Alani, a Services Engagement Manager at REANNZ, and we are honoured to host eResearch New Zealand 2024. Welcome. We're thrilled to have everyone here today. Today we're going to embark on a journey of discovery, collaboration and growth. Now, before we get deep into the nitty-gritty, there's a few things that I have to go through. So after this morning's session, this room will be split into 2 rooms. This will be A1 and this room will be A2. As you can tell on your programs, so it'll be, if you're entering, A2, A1. So your right is A1. Afterwards, I do have to go through a quick health and safety brief. So in case of a fire emergency, here's the 411 on not for your staycation, not to become a barbecue session. If you discover a fire, please channel your inner DJ and operate the nearest fire alarm. I did make it quickie, I'm sorry. Call up the hotel operator, dial 0, and they will summon the fire brigade faster than you can say hot stuff. If you hear a siren on your floor, it's not your hotel's attempt at a quirky wake-up call. Evacuate, please. Forget the elevators, and please no marathon sprints. Just take the nearest stairs that you can find, and we will all meet at Grey Street. Grey Street is just outside the hotel. Now, on the unlikely event of an earthquake, channel your inner chill master, stay in your room, await the seismic serenade, and it's like a room service announcement, but with a little bit of a shaky twist. So, another quick reminder: the bathrooms are just outside, behind the registration table on the right. And recordings of all the sessions will be made available to you in about a week and a half time. If you miss a session, because I know so many exciting sessions are on today, you can always watch recordings of it online. and everything will be made available to you guys. So you will receive an email. There will also be a survey going out at the end on Friday. If you could please fill this out, that would be amazing. I would firstly like to organise the rest of the organising committee on behalf of REANNZ CEO and Genomics Aotearoa. We've worked tirelessly the past year to make this happen. But the most important part is that this could not have been possible today without our amazing sponsors who are all in this room with us. Platinum sponsors, One New Zealand and Sienna, to our gold sponsors, Catalyst Cloud, to our silver sponsors, AWS, Amazon, to our bronze sponsors in no particular order, so I tried to make it alphabetical, Australian Research Data Commons, Digital Science, Dell Technologies, CDC Data Centres, and Sempre Technology. To our lunch sponsors, Xenon, who've come all the way from Australia, and T4 Group for the networking drinks and canapes later today. But of course, it is the morning and everyone wants to know where the coffee is. So thank you, CDC Data Centres, again for sponsoring the coffee cart. That is on the left or the right. It's in the end of that corner. As you step into this conference, we invite you to do so with an open mind. I want you guys to explore new horizons and challenge existing paradigms. In the spirit of collaboration, we encourage you to bring your passion, your skills, because I know you're all very passionate in here, and look to your right and your left, introduce yourselves to people that you've not met yet. Your unique insights and experiences are the lifeblood of this conference, and together we can create a better future for the sector and our field. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for your dedication, your contributions, and let's make the most of this gathering and may it be a memorable and transformative experience for everyone here. Allow me to introduce you to our next speaker and my boss, CEO of REANNZ, Amber McEwen.
Ko Amber McEwen, tōku ingoa. He kai whakahai eri matua taku tunga mahi, kei REANNZ o e mahi ana. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amber. I'm the CEO of REANNZ, and it's a real pleasure to see you all here today. REANNZ is Aotearoa's national research and education network, and we're part of a global federation of over 120 networks that work together to help the sector we serve research, study, and collaborate. If you've connected to eResearch today, you're using one of our services. I'm extremely humbled to have this opportunity to address you at this year's eResearch conference. As I stand here today, I think the one thing we can all agree on is the amount of change happening across our sector, driven by evolving technologies and changing government priorities. Change in itself is not a bad thing, but adapting to it involves a certain mindset and approach. This need to respond and adapt to change is behind the strategic theme of this week's conference, which is He moana puki puki e ikinga e te waka, or navigating an evolving e-research landscape. As we know, New Zealand is a small economy, working hard to create impact nationally and globally. To be successful, we can't work alone, we must collaborate. But I realise in saying this, I'm speaking to the converted, as one thing I've learnt in my short time in the sector is that collaboration is what we do day in and day out. Last week, I had the opportunity to see collaboration in action on a global scale. I attended the conference of the Asia Pacific Advanced Network Community hosted by TaiREN, which is the Thai REANNZ. Collaboration and sharing of infrastructure was a key topic of discussion, as it is seen as crucial to lifting the capability of the region as a whole. There was a common understanding that to create digital equity across the region, or in our case across the motu, we need to work more closely together and share both knowledge and infrastructure. Several use cases that demonstrated a way forward for regional collaboration were discussed at length. The focus was on leveraging capability that exists today, rather than always investing and building new. One example shared was the leveraging of the low-latency, high-capacity national research and education networks, such as REANNZ, to perform remote surgery from Singapore to Japan, as well as using the same networks to roll out telehealth consultancy solutions across remote regions of Asia. This ensures geographic distance is no longer a barrier to healthcare. Second was the implementation of distributed HPC models that allow the sharing of HPC capacity and expertise across the region. In this case, a distributed HPC platform was established between Singapore, Australia, Malaysia, and Pakistan. This model enabled Singapore and Australia to make spare HPC capacity available to researchers in Malaysia and Pakistan. The low-latency national research and education networks in between were used as big data superhighways to transfer data seamlessly and with minimal delay. This is a great tangible example of different infrastructures working together to create impact locally, regionally, and globally. Of course, there was a lot of discussion around AI and the impact it might have on our networks and the way research is conducted. It's fair to say that as a community, we haven't yet landed on what the impact will be, but we do know that our world will change quite dramatically in quite short time. So to start to figure it out, the APAN community have established a working group looking at the use of AI in HPC and in the global network. We think that by bringing our brightest minds together, we can build a path for the way forward. In the end, though, a lot of our conversations came down to people and the amazing talent that exists across the region. Our focus was on how we provide opportunities to develop our brightest talent and how to upskill people on emerging technology. It will come as no surprise to anyone in this room that the answer was to bring people together, either in person or virtually, to address these challenges. I truly believe that bringing people together to collaborate is key to the continued success and growth of our sector. With this in mind, I'd like to thank everyone that has worked tirelessly over the past few months to deliver this event today. Firstly, the organising committee for all their hard work and commitment, and Rania for stepping up to be our MC this morning. Secondly, our partners Genomics Aotearoa, Nessie and MB. I know REANNZ is the host of this year's conference, but behind the scenes, all three organisations have been actively involved in bringing this conference to life. It's not a job that REANNZ has done on its own by any means. I also want to continue, I'd like to thank our keynote speakers, some of whom have travelled a long way to be with us today, namely Rob Wilson, Chief Technologist, External Research Networks, Professor Ian Foster, we've met, but I don't know where you're sitting, from the Argonne National Laboratory and University of Chicago, Dr. Carol Goebel, Professor of Computer Science at the University of Manchester, Dr. Karaitiana Taiuru from Taiuru and Associates, Jan Shepherd, Chief Data and Analytics Officer from ESR, and Rosie Hicks, Chief Executive of the Australian Research Data Commons. I know that your presentations will be informative, thought-provoking and engaging, and I look forward to the discussions they will surely generate. And also thanks in advance to all the other speakers who've put a lot of time and effort into preparing presentations for this week. I'm just afraid there's too many for me to name here. And also, I just want to echo Rania's previous comment about really acknowledging the support of our sponsors. I hope you find this a valuable event for you as well. You've made a material difference to us to be able to offer this conference at a price point that the sector can actually afford. Now, before I hand over the first speaker of the day, I'm delighted to announce that we do have a video from Minister Collins. It just got lost a bit between email boxes, so a logistical issue, but it's here now. So we will be playing that. Are you ready to go now? Oh, fantastic. We'll play it right now. So the Minister had hoped to attend, but was just unfortunately called away at the last minute due to other commitments. So we're really appreciative she found this time to record this video message for us. And I haven't seen it, so I'm interested to see it as well. And I'll be back up in a minute.
Tēnā koutou katoa and hello everyone. I'm delighted to be able to open the eResearch conference, but I am disappointed not being able to be with you personally. As the Minister for Science, Innovation and Technology, I'm happy to tell you that this government is putting science and technology and innovation right at the top where it needs to be. We've got a clear mandate to grow the economy, and the only way for us to do that is to grow science, innovation and technology. And so I am very thrilled to be able to say to you that this is something that is going to be a huge focus for the government. We're also looking at the use of AI in government as well as in the private sector. One of the things we did last year in opposition was to set up a cross-party caucus of members of parliament so that we could learn a lot more about the opportunities and also the risks in AI. And as the Minister, we have restarted that caucus, and one of the first things that I've asked the caucus to do is to look at a framework for AI in use by government. I've also got the Digitising Government portfolio, and that is crucial in terms of AI, but also in terms of growing productivity. We're a small, advanced nation, and we need to grow our economy. And when we look at our traditional agriculture and horticultural sectors, we've been able to do what we have because of the use of science, innovation and technology in those sectors. They've been early adopters of technology and science, and these sectors are a way forward for us to think about how we can export more when it comes to technology, research and science. Technology is now our second largest export. It is now a mainstay of the New Zealand economy, and we need to do more with it, and to grow that we need people like yourselves involved in eResearch to think about other ways that we can actually grow that economy. I'm delighted that you are having this conference so early in my tenure as Minister for Science, Innovation and Technology. And I look forward to hearing some of the updates from you as to what you've discussed and any conclusions that you've come to. And I look forward to being able to share with you some of the new innovations and advancements that we'll be making in government in these areas. Have a great conference. Kia ora.
Well, I think that was quite a pertinent message for us all to hear as we go into a few days of learning and sharing knowledge and ideas. So I thank the Minister for her time to do that, and I look forward to further discussions with her over the months ahead. So just from me, thank you for your time this morning. I hope that you make the most of the opportunity to connect with one another and explore opportunities to work together to create an even bigger impact. So I wrote that without hearing the Minister's video, so I'm quite pleased we're aligned on that one. I look forward to a fun and engaging time together over the next 3 days.